Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Flemming Jr. and today I want to answer a question. Today is my Q&A day, and this is for those who are authors, who are writers. This is a question that I get quite often from a lot of clients, people that I help to write and publish books, people that I've worked with in the past. And this is out of a list of questions that I compile that most authors ask. A list of questions that most authors ask, and this question is at the top of the list. And that question is simply this: how do I take my book to the next level? How do I take my book to the next level? Okay, after I've written the book, I've written it, I published it, I put it out there, I got some sales, everything seems fine. But what do I do with the book now? It's been sitting out there. It's just sitting there kind of collecting dust, or sales may be trickling in, but it's not enough to sustain me financially. It's not as financially rewarding as I hoped it would be, and it's also not making the impact that I was hoping it would make in the lives of other people, in the lives of the readers and customers and so on and so forth. So what is my next level? And it's funny because that question is the same question that the customer is asking, believe it or not. But each person that purchases your book, they are asking the same question: what is the next level? I read the book, it was great, it was wonderful, great information. How can someone help me to implement this stuff? I still don't know what to do. I read it, I see the strategies, I see the tactics, but I need some help. Do you have a next level to the book? And most times authors will get up and they'll try to introduce as their next level a follow-up book, or they'll try to introduce a workbook. And there's nothing, I'm not saying anything against those. Those are brilliant ideas. Those are great add-ons to add on to your book. However, it's still not taking the customer to the next level. It's not helping them in the way that they need to be helped. So I want to tell you, in this solution right here is going to kill two birds with one stone. It's going to answer the question of the author, and it's also going to address the concern of the customer, the person who purchased the book. Your next level is to create some type of immersive experience to go along with your book. Now, when I say an immersive experience, that can come in one of several forms. Well, my wife and I, when we first started out over 10 years ago, we created a different, unique experience. We took that $15 book and we turned it into a live event. A live event. It was called a Night of Purpose, where we would get up and we would teach from the framework that's outlined in the book, teaching people how to discover their purpose. And that one event began to take off. It blew up until several years later we looked up and we had hundreds of people showing up to the event. People were flying in from South America, from Canada, coming all the way just to be a part of a Night of Purpose. And then it continued to grow until we went from hundreds to thousands of people, and then turned it into a 3-day event. So we took that book and turned it into an immersive event, an experience for people. And that was one thing, but that we didn't stop there, because we also took it and also created other products from that book in order to really give people an incredible experience. In other words, we took a book and we now introduced mid-ticket and high-ticket offers. We created coaching programs, group coaching programs, as well as one-on-one coaching programs, which are generally the high-ticket offers. And so what that does is it allows the customers who have read the book and who are still struggling with implementing the information, who are still wrestling with doubts, and who still have a truckload of objections that are holding them back. Those individuals who read the book and they were blessed by it, but they are still having a hard time making changes and adjustments. By you introducing an actual coaching program, you introducing an online course and then a coaching program, whether it be a mid-ticket offer or a high ticket that enables them to work one-on-one with you, or someone on your team, when you introduce that to them, it now gives them the help that they need in order to fully implement the strategies that are outlined in your book. And that's what they are looking for, because your book is making a promise. It's promising them a result, but they can't get that result on their own. They need help. They need extra help. They need a hand. They need someone to walk them hand in hand through the process, and that's where coaching comes in. So if you have an incredible book, but you don't have a coaching program to go along with it, you're actually doing your readers a disservice. It's not, you're actually doing them a disservice, because you're giving them information that they will never be able to implement on their own. And you're telling them to take this information and you figure it out, which is only going to add to the frustration that they're already experiencing. They don't need a book, they need help. And you're the best one to help them, because you're the one that introduced the solution in the book. But they need more than a book. They need some one-on-one time. They need, either in a group setting or directly one-on-one, they need someone that can come along and help them to shift their life to the next level. So if you got an incredible book, where is your program? That's the next level for your book. That's the next level for your readers, but that's also the next level for your finances, and I'll explain how. Because generally speaking, when it comes to book sales, most book sales are around maybe $10, $15. If you're selling through a bookstore, then it's actually less than that. Actually, you get less than half of the compensation off the book. So you might get around $5 or $6 per sale if it's priced at $15, because the bookstore or vendor is going to take out over half of the income or the money from that book sale. So you can't even make a living off of book sales, technically speaking, unless you're on the Stephen King level and you got millions of readers. People are buying your books in the millions. Yeah, you can live comfortably, but most people are not at that level. They are not at the level where they have this huge, monstrous sized platform, no pun intended, but they have this monstrous sized platform. Most people don't have that. So if you're trying to make a living, if you're actually trying to earn money off of a book that you've written, the only way that you can do so, and this is how most successful authors are making their living, is they add to that book other programs, such as coaching programs and things of that nature, in order to actually create a more immersive experience that they could charge more money for. So this is the way that your income will go to the next level. Let's just say you take that $10 book and create an online course and charge $100 for it. Well, you just made $100 off of one person, and it would have taken you 10 customers just to make that much money with a $10 book. But then let's just say you take that book and you introduce let's say $1,000 group coaching program. Well, you've just made 100 times more money off of that coaching program than you were if you were to sell the book by itself. But then let's just say you turn around and you create a $2,000 high ticket offer. So rather than making $10, you actually made $2,000. You do the math. And the same amount of work it would take for you to sell the book is the same amount of work to sell the high ticket or the mid ticket offer. But you have to be smart about it, because again, this is the best thing for your finances. It puts you in a position where you could actually serve people more, because you're not so stressed out and bogged down and trying to figure out how you're going to make a living. And at the same time, you're in a position where you can actually devote the time and energy to helping those that need your help by creating a coaching program, an immersive experience. That is your next level. So if this information was helpful to you and you enjoyed what you heard, I know that the next thing I'm going to share is going to be a real blessing to you. I'm having a free masterclass. Yes, a free masterclass. And the title of that masterclass is From Passion to Profit. And I'm going to teach you 3 steps on how to build a scalable and profitable coaching program, using your book, using your expertise, how to get paid for your knowledge. Again, it's free, but you do have to register, and the link is in the description of this video below. So go ahead and sign up, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.